I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I forget your name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. Hey yo, welcome back, this is Ty Ty. Yo, this is a Levox part 2 of the Learn Your Buses. Let's hop in. Alright, so I ain't even gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite parts of mixing. Just taking care of the vocals. But let's go ahead and play this little snippet. It's the same song from last week. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. I've been running these laps in a Gucci belt, I know you want that thing clean, boy. But alright, let's go ahead and hop into some meat and potatoes. Alright, so let me go ahead and shut everything off. So what we got going on currently would just be the master bus. So the raw after the master bus. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. Alright, so going into it to start, I got the Pro Q. So this is typically pretty close to my starting point. But I get some low end roll off here. This one I ended up at about 103. So what you kind of want to do is just make sure you ain't making it too thin. So check this out. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. So that's too boomy down there. So just find that middle point where it sounds nice and clean, but still thick, and you got it. So then moving on to this section here, and I got a cut at about the 253 range. So what you're really searching for is just some mud, some dirtiness. So name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. I've been running. So it just really cleans that up there. You don't want to go too deep on this, it will really start to make things sound thin. So even right here real quick, we'll back it off. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. I could probably back it off a little bit, but I do add some meat later on down the chain. But then typically I will have a good scoop out of the mids, but I did like how it sounded with this one, just letting it still be in there. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I'm with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. I've been running these laps in a Gucci belt, I know you wanna know how that coochie felt. So with the way it's sitting right now, it definitely sounds better with that cut. But I'm gonna leave it how it was because I probably made a cut later on down in the mix. But then up here in the 3900 range, it's got a little cut for some resonance. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. Just really brings some clarity to it and just kind of takes away some of those annoying frequencies. Then I got a little high shelf up here at the 11K range of about 2, almost 3 dB. It just kind of brings some fanciness to it. So without it real quick. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Moussain, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. And that's about it with the first EQ. And then I'm running into a de-esser here. I absolutely love this one from SSL. Now you can use any one, but I like ones that are basically, you can get full control, but it's not overly complicated. And a lot of de-essers, in my opinion, do that. But basically you could go full broadband on this one, or just exactly where it's at, or you can blend it. But I kind of got a wider range here of about 5K to 9K. So I typically find that I get some S's and T's in the kind of 54 to 5600 range, and then sometimes around 9100. But you can see here without it, I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. Pay attention to spending this cash. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. And private plane, like, it just really smooths that out. And you know, you don't want to crush it, but I mean, on certain things, like depending on the artist's way their mic presentation is, sometimes it's real, you get a lot of just like kind of attitude in that, and that does add some validity to the sound, but you're gonna need to calm that down. But with that being said, that's kind of about it on that part. And then I'm running into an 1176, and you know, I got a faster release, slower attack, and then I'm probably hitting about 7 to 10 dB. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. But it does, it has a lot of character there, just kind of gets everything a little controlled. And I'm at a ratio of 4 to 1. Now, one thing that I learned from Mixbus TV a while back, I would always really just fastest release possible, but you kind of get into some extra distortion, so check this out, and then I'll back it off and then kind of show you where I find that sweet spot. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. So even right there, I had it a little slower than it was before. Now, granted, if you know an 1176, the attack and the release are still very, very fast, even on the slowest settings. So it's still catching them peaks. But then for some movement, I'm running in here to a air flanger. You can use any type of flange on this. I only have it at a mix of 4%. So it's very, very subtle, but it just kind of adds that little bit of vibe. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. I've been running. Very, very smooth, very, very subtle. And then next I got my Additive EQ. And you can use anything you want as far as flavor base goes. I really love the GEQ. And I'm eventually going to be making a 500 series video because I recently got into that. And I'm running analog 1176s and a ultraviolet SSL EQ. So basically, kind of same setup as I got going on here with the plugins. But the analog is just, man, it hit different. So I got a little roll off here in the lower frequencies, about 250, just to kind of take out some of that weight. And then let's see here, a little bump, maybe almost a half a dB at about 900. And I got a little boost here, about a dB and a half at the 3500 range. Yep, well, 3700. And then I got a bump here of almost 2.5 dB at 14K. But let's go ahead and see what it sounds like first without it. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. And a little thing up here, if you got this plug-in, sometimes turn on that analog and see what it sounds like. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. So it just kind of depends on the flavor. Personally, on this one, I like it without it because I'm getting some of my analog sound elsewhere. But then after that, let's see, I think I just had a little annoying frequency here. This is kind of something out of the ordinary, but sometimes you got to make an adjustment. But I got a little cut at but I got a little cut here at about 650. Let's see what this does. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. That's kind of, it's weird, out of context. I think it almost sounds better with it disabled, but you do notice that it makes it just kind of sit in the mix just a little bit more. I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name. Almost just Sucks it right in. But then after that, I have a MC404 from McDSP. If you've been watching my videos very long, you know that I like this thing. But typically these are kind of my go-to settings, and I just kind of mess with the threshold a little bit and get it sounding where it needs to be.
I hop on a private plane, I'm spending this cash for a counter. I hop in a Mustang, I'm trading it out for a Bugatti. I've been with so many bitches that I get your name, I don't know. But she in love with my pain, she gon' give me some puss before I go. I've been running these laps in a Gucci belt. I know you wanna know how that coochie felt. Ask your little bitch how that poochie felt. I know how to make a little tuna melt.
And I think that's why I may have originally not done a big scoop out of the mids in my first EQ, because I'm kind of smacking the mids a little harder in this than I probably normally would. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone for now. So with that being said, that kind of rounds out my main plugins for my my lead box. Now typically I would run another compressor down here, but just recently I've started doing something a little bit different, and that'll be in the all box, which we will do next week. Alright, so before we get into the kind of some special stuff for my leads, let's go ahead and we'll put it on the hook. That way we can hear a little different part of the song. But so typically the way I would go about this is I do start in with my parallel compression. So with this one I did use the MV2 from Waves. Basically I got it set up as a send here, I got it on 0, and then I just feed in a little percentage.
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity, policy diamonds on my wrist. In love with the hustle, I came from the struggle, ain't gonna stop until I'm rich. I'm on a beach, popping.
So you can really see how that just adds some presence and really pushes it to the front of the mix. And on the MV2, I'm not doing a whole lot. I notice if you bump up the upward compression, even just 0.1, it does make a difference. So check this out.
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity, policy diamonds on my wrist.
It does, it just kind of right there. And you know, I'm only bringing it down negative 1.9. Typically with parallel compression, you kind of want to crush it a little bit more, but I was liking how this sounded, and not everything needs to be by the same thing song after song after song. Certain things, certain vocals, different vibes call for a different little tweak to it, and you kind of just got to know when and where to really bring some of that into play. Alright, so that being said, I have tube and tape, and on this song I did use tube, but I used the kinetic drive from APB. Unfortunately that does kind of affect my OBS and just kind of making YouTube videos a little funky sometimes, so I ain't even gonna risk that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in Black Box, and we'll get some vibe to that real quick. Alright, so I'm just gonna...
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity, policy diamonds on my wrist. In love with the hustle, I came from the struggle, ain't gonna stop until I'm rich. I'm on a beach, popping a seal, I wanna own it all. Slept on the street, kept me a stick, it's a matter of time. I'm fucking that bitch with no brakes, sipping this lean out of state, brand new Rolls Royce out of space. Look at these pearls, I got cake. I fuck with this bitch on the south side, I'ma beat it up 808. I left that little bitch on the south side, got a loud mouth, no way.
Alright, so that's kind of typically with Black Box how I'll go. A lot of times too I'll use the mid side, but that's catching the vibe that I'm really trying to catch here, just a little bit of drive. So
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity, policy diamonds on my wrist. In love with the hustle, I came from the struggle, ain't gonna stop until I'm rich. I'm on a beach, popping a seal, I wanna own it all. Slept on the street, kept me a stick, it's a matter of time.
And you know, you don't really have to push it that hard with the send, you know, get it kind of where you want it to be, and then just add a little bit to it, and boom, there you go. Alright, so with that being said, you know, I got different sends set up here, you know, if I wanted some extra weight or some tape saturation, I got that set up. I got some exciters and things like that, but didn't use that on this song. So then what else I got going on here is a little bit of slap delay. Let me go up here. I just have it set up at, put this one at what? 52.5 milliseconds, 100% wet, and no feedback. I did add a little bit of saturation here, and I got it on studio tape, a little bit of a high cut, and yeah, it just adds a vibe. So let me turn this off and then I'll turn it back on.
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity. Policy diamonds on my wrist. In love with the hustle, I came from the struggle. Ain't gonna stop until I'm rich. I'm on a beach, popping a seal.
Alright, so I want to play this one more time, and I want to make more videos specifically about this topic, but notice how it goes from 2D to 3D, like that.
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity. Policy diamonds on my wrist. In love with the hustle, I came from the struggle. Ain't gonna stop until I'm rich. I'm on a
Night and day difference. The moment you activate that, it just kind of separates it, and it just does. It adds so much depth. And then the last thing I had on here was a doubler, just to kind of add a little bit of width to the lead vocal. Let me find this real quick. Alright, it's pretty straightforward. On this one I just used for the guitar pedals, the G-Stomp package, just the doubler from that. And, you know, I got the mix at what, 80? Little bit of a delay, 17.2. This plugin's hard to read. And 46 on the stereo width, 22 on the feedback, and the detune at 2. So check out what this does real quick.
I'm searching for peace, looking for clarity. Policy diamonds on my wrist. In love with the hustle, I came from the struggle. Ain't gonna stop until I'm rich. I'm on a beach, popping a seal. I wanna own it all. Slept on the street, kept me a steak. It's a matter of time. I'm fucking that bitch with no brakes. Sipping this lean out of state. Brand new Rolls Royce out of space. Look at these pros, I got cake. I fuck with this bitch on the south side. I'ma beat it up, fade away. I left that little bitch on the south side. Got a loud mouth, no way.
Alright gang, so that about wraps up my lead vocals. I hope y'all can put this into play. But you can really see with those couple extra little saucy pieces, that doubler specifically, you know, if you're sitting in front of monitors, just, it makes it so much wider. And what really kind of got me into that is I noticed a while back, you know, I'd be working with another artist, and like their vocals felt like they were like this, and I'm sitting somewhere in here and I'm like, man, like how you get in those fat vocals. And I got to digging into different things, and I want to make another video on that too, so we definitely got tons of content on the way. But I'm gonna save that for another day. But it does just dig in. That's all I can say. Like, just keep pushing, keep striving, and your sound's just gonna keep getting more and more developed, and you'll be shocked with what you can do. But yo, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Hit me with some likes, comments. Let's get some conversations going down below, and let's just keep this community alive and keep it going. And I'm gonna catch y'all next week with part 3. Peace.